had during the week. And as a part of it, we're going to talk today about what you probably already have started doing, which is building your brand. And we're joined today by Molly O'Mara. She's our Associate AD for Communications and Public Relations. Molly is a 2004 Sport Management grad here from the Eisenberg School. She's been at several Power 5 schools working in the communications departments, and she has a lot of hand-on knowledge when it comes to national issues within the communications realm. She's here to talk to you about building your brand, so I'll turn it over to her. We hope that it's a lively discussion. We want feedback. Don't be afraid to come out of your shell a little bit. This is what we're looking forward to. Okay? So I'll turn it over to Molly.
Thanks, Matt. How is everyone tonight? Good evening. Where's women's track and field? Any women's track and field in the house? Congratulations, ladies. A10 champions. Men's track and field. Any men's track and field in the house? Third place at A10s. Give them a hand. Men's swimming and diving. Any men's swimming and diving? True freshmen? A10 champions back there too. Women's swimming and diving. Any women's swimming and diving? Fourth at the A10 meet. That's top four finishes at the A10 championships this weekend. Be proud of your teammates. Be proud of your brothers and sisters. So give you a little bit of background. I'm the Associate Athletic Director for Communications and Public Relations. That encompasses a lot of things. I work with coaches and student athletes on press releases, media relations, public relations, social media, graphic design, video. All these video elements you see come from my very talented staff. All the graphics you see, when you've got Emily Cowan, Rookie of the Year for the A10, those come from our staff. So we encompass a lot of different things that are going on with your everyday lives. A lot of us are behind the scenes. I work specifically with our football program. My previous stops include Texas Tech, Arkansas, and Arizona. I'm an 04 grad. I left Amherst, Mass, and I went to Lubbock, Texas. So if I can do it, you guys can do it too. So I'm looking forward to this. I've got a lot of experience. I'm pretty passionate about this topic, and I hope you enjoy it. I want it to be interactive. If you've got a question, please go ahead and raise your hand. So let's start. Building your brand. What's a brand? A name, term, design, or other feature that distinguishes one seller's product from those of others. Popular and identifiable brands, what are these? We know what they are. Starbucks, Apple, Nike. What are some other brands that you guys see on a day-to-day basis that stand out to you? For good or for bad? Adidas. Exactly. What else? Anything non-athletic that stands out to you? I think Honda. I drove a Honda for 11 years. Honda's a pretty popular brand to me. What do those brands make you do? They're instantly recognizable. So when you're thinking about branding from a persona standpoint, it's those images, that messaging that you put out that make you recognizable. Let's start with the basics. What's your brand? Who am I and what do I want to be known for? I'm not going to call anyone out, so I'll call myself out. This is my Twitter page. These are my photos. This is my content. This is what I want to be known for. I love my family, my friends, my alma mater, and I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. That's what I want to be known for. That's my brand. Sorry, come on back. Come on. Ooh, slide issues. Sorry, y'all. I'm having some slide issues. The basics, your bio, your photos, your videos. So the beginning of your brand starts with your beginning here at UMass Athletics. What we do to every true freshman, we get a headshot, we have you fill out a bio sheet, and those two things go on our website. And that's the start of your brand. The headshot you take and the 4 headshots you take while you're here are going to be used if you go into our Hall of Fame, your high school Hall of Fame, A professional Hall of Fame, that's what those headshots are for. That's why it's important to get that bio information to us, why it's important to come take a headshot. We use those headshots to recognize you. We use them in the wall at Boyden. If you're a 4.0 or you're a high GPA and we don't have your headshot, we can't put you on the wall. That's why it's so important for you guys to come and get your headshots taken, to take that responsibility seriously. When you are walking around this campus, you're representing your team, your teammates, your coaches, and your program in the University of Massachusetts. Part of building your brand is wearing your UMass gear. Drives me crazy to see people on this campus wearing some other school's gear. Be proud to attend the University of Massachusetts and wear your athletic gear. Don't borrow your friend's Harvard sweatshirt and wear it around. Wear your gear, be proud of who you compete for and what school you go to. When you're walking around campus and walking through Boyden and our facilities, there are a lot of people that care about you and care how you're doing, how you're performing. I don't know what's happening with this. Care how you're performing. And those people want to interact with you. When I see people around with headphones and I try to say hello, try to see how your day's going, be cognizant of what's happening around you. That's the start of your brand. Are you interacting with people? Are you smiling? If someone asks you, how's your day going? How's class going? You can't hear them when you've got your headphones in. Something to think about, especially in the athletic facilities, whether it be Boyden, Mullins, football, champions. You've got a lot of people who care about you on a day-to-day basis. Those people want to see you. They want to ask how you're doing. Part of that interaction is building your brand. Another form of communication that's really important when you're building your brand is replying to text messages, phone calls, and emails. We're trying to get a hold of you. What's your brand? Is it careless? Are you paying attention to your phone? Are you texting your friends back but not texting a coach, an academic counselor, an athletic trainer? Think about that as you're building your brand. Are you responsible or are you careless? So like I said to you guys, I want to have some fun with this. This was a funny tweet that I found that I thought was really relevant to you guys today. And this is about picking out your Twitter handle. Just let you guys, oh, come on. Get out of there. Matt, I'm having issues. There we go. Just an example. I found it funny, I laughed, but let's think twice about this because now he's playing professionally. And on draft day, they showed us his Instagram handle. Something to think about. Another thing I want to talk about with the basics in building your brand is the relationships you're building on campus with your professors, your tutors, your counselors, your classmates. We'll talk about that communication. I don't want a bunch of back row dwellers. I want front row dwellers. So let's stand up. Come on up to the front row. Just move forward. So I've got 4 rows open and 3 rows open. I don't know what's up with this sound. Is it me? I got too many mics going. See, did you see I built in that commercial break?
That was good.
Always a pleasure. Who is that back there? Oh, hi, I'm Brandon. He won't be happy if I call him up to the. He will not be happy if I call him up to the front.
It's a kind brand.
He's trying to hide from me now.
Kind brand. I bet you won't call him. Call him, Monty.
Zakai's hiding from me.
Kind brand.
All right, thank you. Do you understand why it's important that professors see your face, that when you're in a meeting, you're paying attention, your head's up, your headphones are off? This should be your posture in class and team meetings. Pay attention to that. It's part of how we recognize you. We want to see you as a group of responsible, respectful student athletes who are paying attention. Good? I appreciate it. There are some pretty basic ways that you can promote and support your brand. Traditional media, print, newspapers, magazine, internet, websites, recruiting sites, TV, when you do TV interviews, interviews with us, radio, interviews with our radio network, with potentially your hometown radio network. That's the traditional, more recognizable way. For your generation, it's all about social media. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Vine, Snapchat. What am I missing from that list? What do y'all use nowadays that's not on there? What? Oh. What do you guys use that's not on here? What am I not up to speed on? Oh, well, that's a whole nother seminar. I don't have time to go into that. But you guys get the point. This is what you're using, and this list has, don't you think your use of these platforms has changed in the last 6 months? Think about it. Who still actively uses their Facebook page? Not as many. Who's on Twitter? Instagram. And the cursed Snapchat. Okay. Okay. Do me a favor. Read that first bullet point for me. Nice and loud. You can do it. Just read the first bullet point. Read the first bullet point. Because. Just read it. Read the first bullet point for me.
I'll do it.
Emily.
Social media gives students and athletes a voice to educate them to use it to benefit themselves, the team, and university.
Okay, listen up, guys. Social media gives student athletes a voice. You have a voice with those platforms we just talked about. Do you know how important a voice is to have? How important is that voice, to voice your opinions and your likes and your dislikes? You have a voice by social media. It's our job to educate you, equip you, and empower you to use it to your benefit so you proudly represent the University of Massachusetts, the team, and the university. Think about that. You have a voice with social media. Who can read that second bullet point for me? Really? Go ahead, Pop.
43% of college athletes spend more than 1 hour each day on social media.
43% spend at least 1 hour a day on social media. Think about that. 1 hour a day. And I know how busy you guys are. You guys and girls are busy, and you're spending at least an hour a day. So if you think about that and putting those two bullet points together, a voice that 50% of your peers are spending 1 hour a day on. First impressions. Social media is your first opportunity to strategically build your brand and craft your image. Build your brand, craft your image. Think about those two things. Every time you hit publish, you are adding to your brand story. Are you telling the story you intend? What's your story? Voice, story, brand. Think about these buzzwords. We call them buzzwords in Eisenberg. Think about those buzzwords as you think about your everyday and how you're going through. Whether it be athletically, academically, socially, with your family. Think about your brand, think about your voice, and think about the opportunity to be strategic. Who's paying attention? Who can read that first bullet point? Anyone? Go ahead.
40% of admissions officers check student social media.
Stop. 40% of admissions officers. So when you applied to the University of Massachusetts, not only were those coaches checking your social media, but the admissions office were as well. And that holds true for graduate school too, if you're going to apply to a graduate school program. 40%. Who can read the second bullet point for me? Thank you, Deshaun. Second bullet point, anyone? No one? Go ahead.
93% of recruiters check the social media profiles of candidates.
Perfect. What's your name?
Julia.
Molly. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good firm handshake. That's part of the brand. Part of that. When someone introduces themselves, I don't know Julia. I know some of you. I don't know all of you. It's an opportunity for me to get to know another one of our student athletes. Who's paying attention? This is a good, fun video for all of us. I'm sorry I'm having such slides issues. Does this happen in class too? Is it just me?
Anything more awkward on somebody you don't really know and accidentally liking their pic on Instagram from a long time ago?
Chicken wings and fries. We don't go on dates. Wow.
You
Oh,
know,
what's
you
it
seem
doing?
crazy when you're
Why is it doing this, man? Okay, I'm gonna close that out.
Yeah, me too.
Why is it doing that? Okay, am I good? Come on. It's PowerPoint. Let me go back here. We'll go to plan B. Sorry, y'all, I'm having some technical difficulties. Is that working? Good.
anything more awkward than creeping on somebody you don't really know and accidentally liking their pic on Instagram from a long time ago?
These are SEC basketball coaches
Chicken wings
reading
and
their
fries.
players'
We don't go
tweets.
on dates. Wow.
You know you sleep crazy when your pillowcase falls off. What is that all about?
But Fur, Millie, knows when it comes to music, she's not on Nikki level.
We really have a tiger on campus, though. That's still crazy to me.
The feeling you get when you know you finally get your hair done this week. Is that final?
Have you ever met a hater doing better than you? Neither.
When the flight attendant thinks you look like a tight end instead of a basketball player. Buses be too packed, be smelling people's souls away.
For some reason, squirrels always look happy and content with their lives. That's deep for me.
An awkward moment when we send a Snapchat to the wrong person. You would do that.
If I buy a song on iTunes, I feel like they should provide me with the lyrics too. Just saying. She's really a deep thinker.
It's the feeling you get when you get that direct deposit email. You do the Harlem
Swaggy time.
Says Rihanna don't care about nothing. I like her. Man said it was 993 degrees outside. Emojis are crying.
You know, I hear bruh a lot amongst she and Reggie Moncrief. Bruh. Sideline. Bruh.
There you go.
Bruh. You know, how was practice today, bruh? Bruh, it was hard, bruh. I don't know what, coach was thinking about, bruh. And they bruh. So, that's the last tweet, bruh.
Struggling on me here. You slideshow. That's why I don't use PowerPoint. All right, stay with me, all. Stay with me. I appreciate it. That was pretty funny. What's the point of that video? What's the point of it? You can be funny, but people are paying attention. That's the point of the video. People are paying attention. Your story. Someone read that first bullet point for me. Anyone?
Don't add to the noise. Bring value. What should you be doing
What do you think that means? Don't add to the noise. What do you guys think of noise on social media? Drama. What else? What's noise on social media to you guys? When you're scrolling through, whatever it might be, what's noise? What irritates you? Nothing? Nothing. Everyone loves all things about social media. Noise to me is the constant back and forth when someone will retweet a tweet, favorite a tweet, and then respond to the tweet. That's noise to me. To me, I'm like, you don't need to do all three of those things.
I do that all the time.
I know you do. I know you do. I follow a lot of people in this room. Noise to me are some of those vines that get a little bit out of control sometimes. And now that Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, they play automatically. That's noise to me. When I say what should you be doing with your time, think about it. We know how busy you are. You're doing class, you're doing strength and conditioning and workouts, you're doing practice, you're doing competition, you're traveling, you're doing homework, you're doing athletic training, treatment, whatever it might be in the cold tub. What should you be doing when you're spending a lot of time on social media? That's the point I like to make. Don't tweet from class if we know you should be in class. It's funny, some of these programs nowadays, they have tweets that will post automatically, Bible verses or Scorpio, Sagittarius stuff, and they come during practice. And I'm like, why are they tweeting during practice? What are you doing? Are you coming inside to use the bathroom and tweeting? They're generated. So think about that. Think about what you should be doing with your time when you're spending it on social media. And if I'm thinking that, or some of the other people that follow you are thinking that, what else could you be doing with your time? Something to think about. Someone other than Pop, give me that second bullet point. Someone else. Second bullet point. Go ahead, Lee.
Say it loud first. If it doesn't sound right, don't tweet it.
Let's say that again. Say it out loud first. If it doesn't sound right, don't tweet it. Don't hit send. Think long and hard about that. We're going to come back to that in a second. Go ahead. Someone raise a hand over here for the next bullet point.
Not a popularity contest for followers. Use privacy settings.
It is not a popularity contest for followers. Social media is a voice. Let's go back to that point about being a voice. It's not a contest to see who has the most. It's not. I think privacy settings are really important, especially for student athletes, especially for professional athletes. Pay attention to who you're allowing follow you, whether it's media members or potential agents. Our fans want to follow you and see what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Think about that voice you have and the people who are following you. It's not a contest. Thank you. What's your name?
Jennifer.
Molly. What sport?
Swimming.
Good to meet you. All right, last one. Last bullet point, please. Go ahead in the back. One more time. What you posted is final. There's no such thing as deleted. There's screenshots. There's searches saved through Google. Again, it goes back to that second bullet point. Say it out loud first. If it doesn't sound right, don't tweet it. What's your name?
Cole.
Cole, I'm Molly. What sport?
Track.
Good to meet you. So let's talk more about your story. Let's talk about your story. What's your story? Someone give me an example of their story in just two or three sentences. What's your story? I gave you mine. I'm a native of the Commonwealth. I'm a proud UMass grad. I've worked for 11 years in Division I FBS football. That's my story. What's your story? Someone give it to me quickly. Anyone have a story? You all have a story. You're all Division I student athletes doing what most people can't do. Scholarship, walk-on, transfer, whatever it is. You're all Division I student athletes, and that is a privilege. Not everyone can do that, and you all have a story as to how you got here. Think about that. Whether you guys are a younger group, but as you're starting to apply for summer jobs, internships, later in life, think about your story. What's your story? I get asked a lot. I just started in August with our department, and I get asked my story a lot. I did it tonight when I met with some of the other alumni. What's your story? Put it together in 3 sentences, and then you have it. So when someone asks you, a professor, a classmate, a teammate, an opponent coach, opposing coach that you might meet along the way, have good 2 to 3 sentences about what your story is, because we all have one. Let's talk about content. Let's talk about content on social media. This is something I take pretty seriously. As I said, I work with our football team, and I am active on their social media and what they're doing. I follow a lot of our student athletes. Violence, harm, mocking of another human being is not funny. Do I need to say that again? Violence, harm, mocking of another human being is not funny. Domestic violence is not funny. Harm to another person is not funny. Is anyone unclear about what I mean? Anyone have questions about that? This is unfortunately a trending topic in society right now, specifically with athletes. We're dealing with it from a professional standpoint right now, but violence is not funny. It's not how you want to build your brand. Song lyrics. Song lyrics are a big deal on social media. Music and sports go hand in hand. I love music. I live for it. I have it on all day, every day. I tweet song lyrics. I tweet when I'm at concerts. I post videos. Be cognizant of those lyrics you're posting. Some people don't know that they're song lyrics. Reference the artist. Be cognizant of the language in those song lyrics. Also, when it comes to content, we talked a little bit about being careless when it came to responding to text messages and voicemails, and respect for those around you. But when you're on social media is not casual anymore. It's not a casual thing. How many Twitter followers are there? How many Twitter users of all the social medias? I'm a big proponent of proper grammar, spelling, and cognizant language on social media. It's not a place for profanity. As we talked about and as you guys saw, admissions officers, potential employers, they're looking at your social media. Are you careless in life? Are you careless on Twitter and Instagram? Think about that. Think about the language, the grammar, etc. I think another point too, social media is not messaging. That's for the whole world to see, however many followers you have. Think long and hard before you tweet something versus text it. Okay. Someone read this for me. Anyone? Go ahead. Sakai? Can you see it? No, because he's in the back. Can you see it? Fans judge you as a player according to how you perform on the playing field. They judge you as a person according to how you perform with the media. If fans develop a good impression of you through the media, especially when things are not going well on the field, the benefits to you can be significant. That comes from the NFL Media Relations Handbook. So they read those first two sentences again. Fans judge you as a player according to how you perform on the playing field. They judge you as a person according to how you perform with the media. Big part of what I do is working with the media. This is another really strong way to get your brand out there, whether it be talking about yourself, your teammates, your coach, your program. Use an interview to brag on your teammates and your coaches, and always remember to be humble. When answering questions, act as though your coach, a teammate, or an opponent is standing next to you. Redirect a negative question back to a positive light, a teammate, or the team in general. Be as open with the media as you can, but respect the privacy of team meetings and your teammates. Someone I really respect used to say, "What happens here stays here when you leave here." Tweets are referenced by every major news outlet on a daily basis. Retweets and mentions are all searchable. Every major news outlet is using social media as quotes. It's how professional athletes are announcing they're retiring. It's how professional athletes are responding to specific incidents, negative or positive. ESPN uses tweets throughout the day as a credible news source. So think about that, and they're all searchable. Let's talk about some things that are trending as of late. It's hard to see. This was the front page of USA Today today. Johnny Manziel returned to Twitter to retweet advice from Charlie Sheen. It's a headline that makes me shake my head as to where we are as a world. But Johnny's returned to Twitter after his issues off the field on the front page of USA Today Sports. Something to think about. Let's watch some videos.
obviously I had a lot of time to think about it. And I've seen so much, blown out of proportion. But, at the end of the day, when you invest so much time, when you sacrifice so much, and things don't go as planned, I think emotions take over. I think that's what happens. And as far as trying to be like this person, trying to be like that person, I heard numerous, quotes about, what if this person was in that situation? How would he have handled it? Well, we've seen this person do that. How he would have handled it. The truth of the matter is, I'm not trying to be this person, nor am I trying to be that person. I've said it since day one. I am who I am. I know where I'm capable of. I know what I'm capable of, and I know where I'm going. And I don't have to conform to anybody else's, wants for me to do. I'm not that guy. If you want me to be this type of person, I'm not that, and I'm happy to say that. You know what I'm saying? This league is a great league with or without me. I understand that, and I am my own person. I take pride in that, and that's pretty much how I feel.
You don't have any regrets at all for how you handled it? Not to say that you should. I'm just asking.
I really don't. I mean, it happened. It happened. I didn't want to talk to the media at the time. And truth of the matter is, I really still don't want to talk to the media. But at the end of the day, things has to happen. I had a lot of time to go back and play everything back. And like I say, I'm human. I've never once said that I was perfect. I never proclaimed that I was perfect. But at the end of the day, people pick and they do things of that sort. And the truth of the matter is, who are you to say that your way is right? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, we got all these people that's condemning and saying, oh man, he should have did this, that, and the third. But what makes your way right? I've been on record to say I'm a sore loser. Who likes to lose? You show me a good loser and I'm gonna show you a loser. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to it's not a popularity contest. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to win football games. And for this organization, for Mr. Richardson, for my teammates, and for what it's worth, my fans. They know what's real. And I leave everything else out on the field. I prepare the right way. I have a mentality, I have a standard that I set for myself. And I'm not gonna bend nor break. You know what I'm saying? I never once offended anybody along that. But at the end of the day, we had an unbelievable season. A great season at that, and we did what a lot of people didn't expect us to do. Hell, we did a lot of things that we were fast into doing. People knew we were going to win, but they didn't know how fast we would win. And at one point, we were undefeated. And the truth of the matter is, we got 2 losses. Some teams had 2 losses the first 2 weeks. So that's the truth of the matter. And for me, for me, it's just nothing's pretty much gonna change. You get what you get. You know what I'm saying? And
Give me someone's initial reaction to this video. Go ahead. Go ahead. What, Brandon? Trill? I don't. What? Give me some more. Give me some more. Appropriate. Give me another thing that you saw. What was your initial reaction to this? Go ahead. Honest. What's another initial reaction? Is anyone unfamiliar with this? I should have given a little bit more preface. Cam Newton, quarterback, Carolina Panthers, after the Super Bowl. He went out there, he answered some questions, he was pretty brief, and got up and walked away. This was his response a couple of days later. Who's been in a situation where you've just lost and you've got to face someone? You've got to face a coach, a media member, a family member. Who's been in that situation? Probably all of us, right? Anyone ever been in a high-profile situation like this after a big loss? Anyone from your high school days or since you've been here on campus? Here's my 2 cents on this, and this is the reason I showed you. There's a lot of really poor examples out there. You can YouTube them. I spent a lot of time going through them while I was prepping for this. I think what Cam did here was pretty appropriate. It was pretty appropriate, and it was pretty honest. Professional level's a little bit different. They've got contracts, they've got stuff like this built in. They're representing their team and that franchise, and they have to go do some of these media elements. Here's why I support how Cam handled it. He went out there, he gave his sound bites, 2-3 minutes of sound. The media have a job to do. Their job is to cover the game, to get reaction. They have a job to do, and Cam allowed them to do their job. He also did his job. And I think, quite frankly, he got up and walked away before he could have said something potentially worse, and it exploded. I really have a lot of respect for him. He says that I'm a poor loser, show me a good loser, I want to go out to win. He did it respectfully, he did it articulately, and he's someone who's faced a lot of criticism throughout the season for how he handles things, and he was under constant comparison to Peyton Manning, and that's a really tough comparison to have to draw. Cam's still a really young quarterback. So I have a lot of respect for how he handled that, and that's why I wanted to show it to you. I think that there's certain ways to handle facing anyone in a tough situation, and I think Cam did a really good job of that. So that's why I wanted to show it. I have a lot of respect for that. We, as our staff in communications, for all of our 21 sports, we're here on your side. We're here to help you. We never want to put you in a situation, whether it be on social media, video, camera, whatever it might be in person. We never want to put you in a situation to fail. We always want to put you in a situation to succeed. So if you're still unsure about talking with the media, talking with professors, talking with anyone that you come encounter with every day, come talk to us. We can help you. We can help you do that. We can help you learn how to deliver your message. We can help you with some of the public speaking elements that you may face on a daily basis. But I think it's important to be a good communicator. Again, it goes back to that voice you have. You have a voice for many different reasons. You have a voice because you're an adult. You're all over the age of 18. You have a voice because of social media. Social media gives you a free voice. Your voice is a little bit extended because you're a student athlete and the public eye is on you. So something to think about. If you want help learning how to do that, the best practices, that's what we're here for. In the end, mission statements are meaningless if you're not on a mission. A list of values for your team has no value if you aren't truly living them. All the rah-rah speeches have no impact if you go back to normal 2 weeks later. If you preach values, live values. If you preach character, live character. Leaders go out first. Leaders define the culture. Part of building your brand inevitably is becoming a leader, whether you're a leader on the field, in the classroom, later on in life. Building your brand helps you evolve to that next role as the leader. And these things, values, character, and being a leader, is what your goal should be to strive towards. Should be the people that you're focusing on, the examples that you're following. And again, it goes back to your brand, your voice, and the opportunity you have. So, that's all I've got. Give me some feedback. What did you learn? What did you take away the most? What was the most helpful? What do you guys face that we can help you with? Every day is perfect? Every day? What can we help you with? What did you take away? What was the biggest lesson? Any of those numbers that I showed you shock you the most? Brand experts in the room. Yeah.
Think before you speak or type anything on social media.
Yep, that's a good one. Say it out loud. Say it out loud. Does it sound right? Remember your audience. Remember your audience. That goes along with what we do. Anyone else? Anyone have any questions? Randall West? Making an appropriate Twitter handle. Making an appropriate Twitter handle. Mine's Hey Molly Mall. Everyone calls me that. I don't get offended. Everyone says, oh, I'm walking through Boyden, Hey Molly Mall. I'm walking through football, Hey Molly Mall. I don't get offended. That's why it's my Twitter handle. People ask me that all the time. What else stood out to you? What else do you have questions about on a day-to-day social media use? Building your brand as you get ready for those next steps.